honorable ministers, their partners, ladies and gentlemen, Ogloni men. I wish to thank you for the opportunity in providing the space to discuss key issues around technical and vocational education and training for sustainable development. I would also like to express my appreciation to the Minister of Mongolia for the active support in our international conference for TVET held in December 2021, and to Ms. Aryunzaya Ayush, Minister of Labor and Social Protection in Mongolia, for her significant intervention. Dear colleagues, today is a chance to shed light on an important aspect of our education system, the transformation of technical and vocational education and training for sustainable development. In a world that demands innovation, adaptability, and skills that are required for a very fast changing world. TVET is at the intersection of education and the world of work, and is expected to facilitate the insertion of skills and the development of skills and the insertion of skilled young people and adults into the labor market, to reskill, upskill workers, as well as to support career guidance and progression within a lifelong learning perspective. Yet, unfortunately, the stark reality speaks volumes about the imbalances prevalent in the world of work in many countries, and the challenge that many countries are facing. Let me mention three of them. First, the skills mismatch. Second, youth development and youth employability. And third is the gender imbalance and inequality. On skills mismatch, the COVID-19 pandemic increased skills mismatch and accelerated the digital revolution that requires new set of skills. Artificial intelligence is impacting the world of work, economy, societies, and education. But we know also that the informal economy is not shrinking in many countries, and rural livelihoods require also attention. All these transformations highlight the urgency of transforming our education system to make them more resilient and fit for fast changing and uncertain future, and oriented towards the green and digital transitions that are determining our future. I mentioned skills mismatch. I also would like to highlight the challenge of youth employability and youth employment more broadly. So if we turn our attention to the younger generation, those aged between 15 and 24, they're facing own set of challenges in securing decent employment, in accessing labor market, and in finding decent opportunities. It is, of course, a challenge when we think about youth unemployment rate among young people, which is 3 times higher than that of adults aged 25 or older. The struggle they encounter are undeniable, and as such, they will have to be supported. Shockingly, more than 1 in 5 young people, and that's around 23% of young people in the world, are not in education, employment, or training. They are needs, and many of them are disengaged from the labor market. That requires attention and policy actions immediately. But if we take the third point I mentioned, that's gender challenge, and as you know, the participation rate of women in labor force is around 47% in 2022, whereas men had a participation rate of 72%. The gap is huge, is around 25%. And that means that for every economically inactive man, there are 2 women in the same category. In this context, and to address these challenges, but many others, TVETs and technical vocational education and training holds the potential to empower individuals, strengthen the economy, and create sustainable futures for all. However, as we know, to fully unlock its benefits and its potential, we must embark on a transformative journey. This requires a lifelong learning approach in different set of skills and in different areas of skills development, taking flexible learning pathways for skilling, reskilling, and upskilling. Some of them are related to how we can recognize learning happening in different contexts, validation of prior learning, adopting more flexible qualification systems, including micro-credentials and other forms of credentialing. But we have also to anticipate and identify the demand for skills that are required for the transition to digital and green economies. This relies on social dialogue, participation of employers, unions, civil society, including youth, in dialogue, in understanding the demand for skills, in anticipating the demand for skills, and having a proactive approach. Education, skills, and training are at the center of the achievement of the 2030 agenda and achieving the commitment that member states have made during the Transforming Education Summit. But TVET is also about other SDGs, including SDG 8 on sustainable and inclusive economic growth and access to decent work, which is strongly reliant on a quality education and training opportunities and lifelong learning opportunities. As such, TVET system need to adapt and will have to adapt to multiple transitions that are shaping education and labor market, economies, and societies. Zero carbon economy is one important aspect that we expect that will create jobs, but at the same time, it will probably distract some other jobs. So that engagement, offering new opportunities, particularly for youth, will be very important. Dear colleagues, today we are discussing a new course for TVET. This new course is shaped, among others, by relevant support of Mongolia and Ministry of Education and Science, and through different programs that can contribute to the achievement of this lifelong learning vision. In line with the newly formulated strategy for UNESCO, which spans years 2022-2029, and which covers areas related to skills development for individuals, skills development for economies, and skills development for societies, UNESCO remains committed to assist countries in enhancing the relevance of their technical and vocational education and training system with this broader perspective. We'll seek to reposition TVET to be a successful path for individuals to learn, work, and live, a catalyst toward digital and green transformation and sustainable economies, and a vector for social justice that we all would like to see achieving in the coming years. So now more than ever, we must step up our collective efforts to equip youth and adults in acquiring the set of skills that are in demand and anticipate on the demand for skills, helping them unlock their potential and successfully navigate this changing landmarks and situation on social, economic, and environmental changes. UNESCO, as well as its Center of Expertise and Resources, the UNESCO International Center in Bonn, in Germany, and its UNEVOC network will continue working closely with Mongolia to support member states and support the country in equipping youth and adults with the relevant skills. I would like to acknowledge the active members of the 3 UNEVOC centers in Mongolia, which are our team and have been working closely with us to advance this agenda: the Vocational Education and Training Partnership, the Assessment and Information and Methodology Center, and the Institute for Educational Research. They are at the center of our work and will be continuing working to support the government, to support these institutions. Dear colleagues, let me reiterate my gratitude to the ministers and partners for the trust placed in UNESCO, reaffirm our commitment to work with you and to put all our expertise, our capacities, our assets at the disposal of your effort of reforming, developing technical and vocational education and training to serve the Mongolian nation, to serve young people, to serve every citizen in the country. I want to express my sincere appreciation for your enthusiastic involvement and anticipate a meaningful conversation ahead. Bye.